슬슬 밤이군. 탐정놈이 예술의 소재를 주는 시간이야. 나는 이때가 아주 설레지.
Sounds pretty messy. Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamak. This is Let's Play Limbus Company Time Killing Time. In the last episode, we didn't get any fights done, but that's alright. We have a lot of story. We've seen the Time Ripper. They are a distortion and kind of terrifying. I mean, what else do we have to say beyond that? Rhodia was always the one to lift the team's mood when it's down, but what do we do when she's the one feeling down? The mood among us had grown so incredibly awkward and cold, I was almost starting to feel a chill in my fingers. I guess this is what happens when Rhodia is in a depressive mood. If we were back at the bus, or if Yiseng or Gregor were here, they would have at least tried to do something to break the ice. But neither Ryoshu nor Honglu were the kind of people to be heavily affected by such a frosty mood, so we trudged on with our investigation. Looks like the culprit got him in the middle of something. He knew the Ripper. How could you tell? By looking at his eyes. Isn't it obvious? That look in his eyes is the kind of look people have in their eyes when getting killed by a rat they know. He's not exactly dead, you know. Ooh, this dead body looks kinda different from the last one we saw though. Not a dead body either, but what is it? The culprit tore his scarf in half. Maybe they really disagreed with his fashion choices? The Uridove must live like fools in the eyes of others, so that we may see a path invisible to them. Rhodia? It's something Sonia once said. Told me that the scarf was a yoke to hide the great ambition, that those with such dreams must remain bound. But I don't see you wearing that scarf. I just think it cramps my style. Then chopping the scarf in half would mean that the killer might be a former member of the Uridove. We should go back to their hideout and ask around. Sometime later. We get a lot of time skips in this one, I'm noticing. Damn it! The Ripper got our boss? Huh? Are you asking if anyone quit recently? Well, it's not like they formally quit or anything, but there were some who went completely off the grid. Someone who wanted to steal the surplus time at T-Core to share it equally among everyone? Yeah, I remember a lad who said something like that. When his younger brother died, he became a bit weird. Did anyone want to go along with that plan? I'm sure there are some, but we shouldn't. We're the Uridove. We must divide our time until the saint gives us the word. Is that so? Where is he? No idea. The last he said something like, I'll always be watching you. Creepy, innit? But I suppose that means he's still hanging about somewhere in T-Core borders. Our bossman's gonna be back to normal, right? He'll always be watching, huh? Clock. Huh? I always burn a cig after a kill. But you're always smoking. Because it takes about 4 minutes for the cig to burn all the way through. I get to watch as the light of life slowly burn out in their dying eyes. It really enhances the flavor. She's not a good person. She's just someone on our side. 4 minutes. I know that it takes exactly 4 minutes for this cigarette to burn away. But only 2 minutes have passed on that clock tower. Huh? That doesn't make sense. How come no one knows that the clock tower is broken? This isn't a new development, by the way. From the moment our little game of detectives started to this precise moment, the clock tower only always measured 2 minutes by the time I finished smoking. Didn't someone say it's because people have learned to be helpless? I've been waiting for something to get finished for a while. Do you know how much of a pain it is to wait for something, but also have too much time in your day? It's so tedious. He thinks it's a real bother. Standing guard, all this stop and search. So tedious. Hey, assistant. What were the first 2 victims doing when the Ripper struck? Let's see. One of them was attacked while purchasing a 13-flavored lollipop candy. And the other was reading a comic book starring a T-Core inventor as his protagonist. I see it's a pretty fun read. Are there a lot of clock towers in T-Core? A total of 12 in the entirety of T-Core, but just 1 in this general area. The Time Ripper only struck near this tower, didn't they? Right on, detective. What if they slowed down the clock tower and made everyone in the area feel that sense of extreme tedium? Tedium. I see, so that's what it was. He can rip time only from people who are bored. The clock tower. It should give me a nice view to blow smoke at. Here's something I forgot to mention. You know you need actual evidence to make an arrest, right, detectives? Huh? You have to catch him in the act. Can't go around arresting people just because you feel like it, What, do we have to let them attack us or something? Just so we can catch them in the act? Don't you know, he can literally rip the time out of you. One small mistake and you might wake up weeks, months, or even years later. We don't even know if that's the kind of thing that Dante can rewind. Yeah, it's all very tragic, but it's still part of your responsibilities. We do owe 10 billion yuan, don't we? Do you even care about catching the culprit? Or is learning how he rips time all you care about? Right on again, Ace Detective. I once thought there were no inventions in T-Core I didn't know their ins and outs about. You see, I have the intricate knowledge of mechanisms of every single machinery in existence within T-Core. I even know about the bizarre contraption your friend back at the jail cell invented while he was here. I didn't want that invention to be beholden to the T-Core Patents Agency, no. I wanted to watch as it spread throughout the city, which is why I didn't try very hard to stop him as he escaped through the back streets. It wasn't because I was lazy, mind. So, to answer your question, no. Like in the case of 9 literatures, I don't care whether we catch the culprit or not. I'm just curious about the exact mechanism behind how he rips time. It's the nature of being an inventor. Agreed. How am I supposed to get anything done with people like... Excuse me, Mr. Assistant? I have something I'd like to ask you. Back when Mersault's stood on the temporal scale gallows, didn't the machine beep very loudly? Excuse me one moment, I need a drink, my throat's very dry. This should be my last recording, but I'm still going. That reticent friend? Yeah, it did. If you have the intricate knowledge of the mechanisms of every single machinery in existence within T-Core, do you also know why it malfunctioned? Yeah, of course. Why wasn't the gallows able to take 10 billion arns worth of time from her assault? Was it really because it was broken? What are you talking about? It's statistically impossible for the machines of my design to have any faults. Usually. Then the source of that error must be Mersault. Or all of us, right? Not the machine? Oh, suddenly Honglu's being very clever. Can't wait till we get his 7 association ID. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You're not only looking the part, you're also playing the part of an ace detective. Could have fooled me. All credit goes to Lady Agatha. She did say that one of the qualities of an ace detective is a mind of bottomless inquisitiveness, after all. I thought the condition of getting exempt from our time tax was that we had to catch the culprit. That's what I was thinking when the Class 5 auditor began speaking as if to address my concerns. I'm not saying I won't cooperate, of course. I may have even devised a plan for you, though it may be somewhat simple. Now listen close. Unspoken plan guarantee! Ooh. Battle. And we don't have enough Anchorfelon, do we? So let's use a box. It doesn't give us any hint on affinities to use either. Oh, wait a minute. Everyone can get involved? Okay. Let's just throw in forced, because the other two will be perfectly fine to throw it. I'd rather give extra skill slots to these two.
돈 벌러 가자.
So, will this really work? I guess he let the others out. I guess it's barely a plan, more like something we came up with in the last 10 minutes, but still. Annoying. Shh, let's just hide. Hi, I've been waiting for you. Did he just say hiya to the Ripper? Interesting. Not only did you know I'd be coming here, but you also had the manners to extend your greetings. I see. You've been tailing us this whole time. Of course. You were right under our noses all this time, weren't you? You're one of those fools playing pretend as a detective, aren't you? Killing time. You're right. Say, can you teach me how to make the most of my time? Give us your time, and we might tell you. What, 30 hours? What is this, a bloody joke? That ain't enough. Just think about all those hours we've lost fleeing from these sods. We could have spent that time ripping more hours from others. I say it's only fair that we take 300 hours from him. That's about 20 days, what? Agreed, he's one of those Nest's lackeys. Working with those filthy watch chains of Tikal, he deserves it. If we let him go, he'll only bring further trouble. Let's show them what happens to those that oppose us. Seconded, let's try to extract the amount of hours that evenly splits into 12 pieces. Sod it, let's stab as deep as we can go. We don't want the repeat of the fat guy in the factory, do we? We're aiming straight for the center. We're not letting this bastard slip away with just a gash of 100 hours. Silence. I will decide the time. We will stab as deep as we can and rip 1,000 hours from him. There should be more enough time for us to happily share. Well, I suppose we'll be losing our sense of taste for the next 1,000 hours if we divide the burden of thousands of hours equally amongst one another. Yeah, I can roll with that. Pretty clearly a whole amalgamation of people in there. Huh. It's almost as like there are multiple personalities living in there, all taking turns to speak. The culprit wasn't the only one who suddenly began to behave strangely. Honglu did too. His face relaxed into a tranquil look, as though he were ready to let something go. Or perhaps that was an expression of liberation. 1,000 hours. Will 1,000 hours have passed in the blink of an eye? Yes, and there will be no pain, only the despair that awaits you upon your awakening. Then, I like that. Rip my time away. He didn't mean that, did he? A time-tearing razor, is it? So that is the core of the power that extracts time. It was no invention at all, but a distortion. My, this is still highly fascinating. So this is the kind of power that a distortion can grant? Powers that one could only have dreamt of. After a lengthy silence, as though the world itself had come to a grinding halt. Why can't we rip away your time? I see. Everything went according to plan. It's all so sane. I blinked. Well, the world is just as familiar and changeless as ever. What? We've walked right into a trap, you daft idiots! Don't you understand? Detectives. AOTS. That's a relief. Have you worried for a moment there? About 30 minutes ago. Like I said earlier, the temple scale gallows isn't broken. This error was caused by you. Your time, and this applies to all 12 of you, was already bound to someone else's time. Someone else's time? Me? This caused a multi-reference error in the temporal scale gallows which was supposed to hang your time. So what you're saying is, because we're living with Dante's time, the gallows couldn't hang our time? I had no idea. Well, if all that is news to us, then there's really no way for the Time Ripper to know that either. So once the Time Ripper arrives and tries to rip my time away from me, that's when Rhodia and Ryoshu can swoop in like the awesome people you are and arrest the culprit. And that's how this trap came to be. But what if, and really what if? What if the Time Ripper manages to rip Longhu's time away? Don't worry, Dante. It's all going to be okay. I wonder how long the racket would last once the news of a malfunctioning clock tower breaks. Wouldn't it be so entertaining to watch as people's trust in the institution of the supposedly unerring clock tower crumble? It's going to be such a fun show. I'll try my best not to malfunction. Tick tock, tick tock. Hey, participation trophy. I used to really hate the sound of clocks. I don't know when it started, but I started associating its noise with the perpetual cycle of pain. Like it's some premonition that a clock-hand-shaped blade will one day clean through me. A blade of time, if you will. By your eyes, it's a bit different. It's the kind of noise that makes me dream up something new, something different. And it's not pain. Well, that's why I wanted to extend my gratitude. Not sure what he's extending his gratitude for, but can someone ask him to do something for me? Dante has a request. Right, request away. I think I've had enough experience to intuit when a big fight's about to break out. I'm getting that exact feeling something's about to happen. So it's time for you to return the other sinners. I can't believe they actually kept us in prison the whole time, only to let us out right before they caught the culprit. So how was it, manager? Adventuring with just 3 sinners. Was it nice? I trust that you have learned your lesson and that my absence was deeply felt. I'm making all over just from sitting inside the jail cell. I don't want to ever go back to places like that. Right, so this is the sod the Time Ripper or something? A distortion we must defeat. Let's hope that we've pulled together a team that can handle this nonsense. When in time acceleration, +2. At 500 stolen time, inflict bleed count. 300 stolen time, consume 25 to inflict 1 more bleed potency and count. Okay, I think we're going to need this one at some point. Yikes, he's just extremely high damage outright. Oh, he has 1000 stolen time, 16 offense and 16 defense level. That's atrocious. Clash lose at 75 less HP. Consume stolen time to gain protection. At 200 plus value, gain offense level and defense level up. At less than 200 level, gain offense level down and defense level down, so... Oh boy, we're throwing away all of our good stuff right off the bat.
파던.
Oh, but he is losing SP for losing clashes, although... Frick. I don't like his pierce skills. That is going to add up way too quickly if we don't get rid of it. Winning those zoo clashes at the start absolutely screwed us over.
직접 타도하죠.
Forced way! Oh yeah, it had to be the big attack that inflicts an SP penalty for messing up. Base power for every stolen time on self. Inflict time relief against the target that used an attack skill against this unit. Consume 200 stolen time and gain time acceleration next turn. I don't get what that's supposed to mean.
직접 타도하죠.
Targeted by time ripple while time acceleration is active. Oh, okay. And suddenly these abilities to... When this unit takes lethal damage, instantly heal is going to be very important. He's not letting us win clashes, so we can't get our SP back. That's the problem that we're having.
상대할 맛이 나는 놈들이면 좋겠고. 타던.
꽤 끈적거리거든. 절대 피할 수 없을걸? 걸려라.
Oh, this is gonna frick us up completely. We need pride skills right now.
상대할 맛이 나는 놈들이면 좋겠고.
It feels like such a waste that you get to the end of this and oh, he's level 45 and you just can't figure out how to beat him. Finally! Okay, let's think this one out. We don't have any envy skills in easy access, so we can't use fluid sac. Oh yeah, getting that coin drop down helped a lot. Oh no. Rodian's gonna die because we can't get the bleed count off her fast enough, so... Single coin skills only. Actually, I don't even know if that'll be enough. Inflict tremor potency and tremor count, inflict a lot of tremor burst. He has a lot of tremor count, we might be able to make this one work.
파던.
Oh, we risked a corrosion there.
제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태영 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
You know what I haven't looked at? I haven't looked at his passives. $462 damage! This unit's panic type does not change. Have 1000 time at the start. If a part is broken, spend 100 time from that part to recover from broken state next turn. Honestly, I had no right for that to go as well as it did. We need that final point of envy just so we can fluid sack, but chances are Forced is going to lose it next turn, so... Screwed either way. Fortunately, we can finish the fight here.
자, 한 건 했고.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Have you ever wept in such deep longing for that extra minute, that extra second you let slip through your fingers? Where you wished that your heart would forever sleep, for its every beat was but a painful reminder of how merciless march of time? I don't suppose you have, because you all have plenty of time to spare. With that, the Time Ripper slips into the shimmering portal. A mirror dungeon of the Fathoms. It appears to be the same kind as the one we have seen before. Hey Dante, I've got a question. It just occurred to me for the first time. Where do all the time that we use, that you use, where do they come from? Well, that's... I never gave thought to where the time I rewind comes from. All I knew was that when I turned the clock, I rewound time. WC. Yeah, who cares, I guess. I wish I could answer her, but it's not like I know how any of this works. Ryoshu quickly shut us down with her brief summary of the circumstances. We did not question it further. A mirror dungeon of the Fathoms. Let's go. I guess that's something for next episode. Until then guys, take care, I'll see you all around.